I don't need your permission for anything, she screamed when I asked her not to go on a trip with her ex. So, I said, good, because you don't have it anymore, and moved out while she was gone. Now she's alone, forgotten, and I don't even feel anything. Hey viewers, before we continue with the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and hit the like button if you just like to see more stories like this. Thanks. I used to think peace was proof of love. When things were calm, when there were no arguments, no jealousy, no drama, I believed that meant we were strong. What I didn't understand then was that peace only works when both people genuinely want it. Lena and I had been together for a little over 2 years when everything fell apart. I was 28, working as a software analyst, living the kind of life that made my mom proud, and gave my friends endless material to tease me with. We were basically a retired dad at 30. Dared half. Never I left parties early or turned down last-minute weekend trips. Lena was the complete opposite. She was pure momentum, bright, social, restless. She worked in PR and seemed to thrive on attention. If a camera appeared, she was in front of it. If a group chat went quiet, she'd send a meme just to bring it back to life. She used to tell me she loved that I was her anchor. At the time, that word made me feel good. Steady, dependable, grounding. Later I realized, an anchor can also be the thing that keeps you from moving. First red flags didn't look like red flags at all. They looked like jokes, like the time at her friend's birthday dinner when she leaned across the table to feed cake to her coworker. And a guy named Jake who was always a little too touchy. Everyone laughed, but I noticed her hand linger on his. When we got home, I quietly brought it up. Me. Hey, that thing with Jake. It made me uncomfortable. Lena. Oh my God, Ethan. Are we really doing this? He's like that with everyone. You're overthinking. She kissed my cheek, playfully grabbed my face, and said, Lena, you've got to loosen up, babe. Not every man talking to your girlfriend is a threat. At the time, it sounded reasonable enough. She was so confident, so quick to dismiss the idea that anything was wrong. I convinced myself I was being paranoid. Besides, everything else about her made life feel brighter. She danced in the kitchen while I cooked. She left little post-it notes on my monitor, with things like, don't forget to smile, or, proud of you nerd. I'd find them and laugh. I thought that was love. Her teasing, light-hearted chaos paired with my quiet consistency. But over time, something changed. The teasing started to sting. Lena, you're so serious all the time. Can't you just relax for once? Me? I'm relaxed. Lena, you literally color-code your calendar. That's not relaxed. That's clinical. She always laughed when she said it, but there was usually a little edge underneath. I ignored it. Phone lad, the way people in love often ignore the things they shouldn't. I told myself she was just more spontaneous, more outgoing, more fun. Then came the late nights. Work drinks with coworkers that started at 7 and ended at 1 in the morning. Girls' trips that included guys I didn't know. And every time I asked a question, she reacted as if I were accusing her of something. Lena, you need to trust me, Ethan. If you can't, then what are we even doing? That line, if you can't trust me, was her favorite weapon. It ended every conversation. And the truth was, I did trust her. I wanted to. I believed her when she said nothing was happening. I believed her when she said Jake had a girlfriend and was harmless. I believed her because I wanted to be the kind of man who didn't control, didn't dictate, didn't unravel over insecurity. So I let things slide. The small cracks kept spreading. Tiny, nearly invisible fractures in what I thought was a stable relationship. Like the night she came home tipsy and said, laughing, Lena, you'd hate how flirty Jake gets when he drinks. He kept saying he wishes his girlfriend was as chill as me. She said it as though it were a compliment. I remember standing there trying to smile, trying not to show how uneasy I felt. She noticed anyway. Lena, oh my God, don't look at me like that. It's harmless. She always said that. It's harmless. It's nothing. You're overreacting. By the time I realized how often those words came up, it was already too late, because the night that phrase returned again. You're overreacting, would be the last time she ever said it to me while I still loved her. It happened on a Saturday. Lena had spent the entire week excited about her PR team retreat. It wasn't really a retreat. It was more of a weekend networking event her company held every quarter, basically an excuse to party under the label of team bonding. She told me it would be at a resort 2 hours away, and that everyone from her department would be there. I didn't argue. I only asked one question. Me, is Jake going? She laughed harder than the question deserved. Of course he is, Ethan. He's on the team. Don't start this again. I didn't respond. I just nodded. She took my silence as permission. That Friday evening, she got ready in front of the mirror, her hair curled, her perfume filling the room. The same perfume she usually wore on dates with me. Her dress was short, sparkly, and clearly designed to draw attention. "Lena, don't look at me like that," she said with a smile. "You know I have to look good. It's PR. Appearance is half the job." I didn't argue. I kissed her forehead and said, "Have fun. Text me when you get there." She didn't. By midnight, I still hadn't heard from her. I sent one text. "You made it okay?" No reply. Next morning, I saw a photo posted publicly by one of her coworkers. It wasn't sent to me. It was a group picture. Everyone was smiling, drinks in hand. Lena stood in the front. Jake's arm was wrapped around her waist, and she wasn't pulling away. I stared at the image for a long time, probably longer than I should have, trying to find a version of it that made sense. Maybe his arm was just in an awkward position. Maybe she hadn't noticed. But then I saw someone comment, "The power couple we didn't know we needed." And she liked it. That was the first time something inside me went cold. Not angry, not jealous, just cold. She came home Sunday night as if nothing had happened. She hugged me and told me she missed me. I played along. I listened as she told her stories, laughed about the weekend, and casually recounted how drunk everyone had gotten. Then, almost as an afterthought, she said, "Lena, Jake wouldn't stop being an idiot. He kept trying to dance with me. You would have hated it." "Me? Did you?" She froze. "Lena, did I what?" "Me. Dance with him." "Lena. Oh my God, Ethan. It was just dancing. Stop acting like I cheated." There it was again. That tone. As if I was the problem simply for asking. So I said nothing. But later that night, after she fell asleep on the couch, her phone lit up with a notification. I wasn't searching for anything. It was right there. "Jake, still thinking about that kiss. Don't act like you didn't like it too." My body went numb. There was no hesitation, no drama, just clarity. I took a photo of the message. Then I carefully set her phone back down, the same way you'd put down a weapon after realizing it was loaded. I sat in silence for a long time. When she woke up, she stretched and smiled at me as if nothing had happened. "Lena, you're quiet tonight." "Me. Yeah." "Lena, everything okay?" "Me. Perfect." That word must have reassured her because she leaned over, kissed my cheek and said, "Lena, see, we don't have to fight about every little thing." I didn't answer. That night, I made a plan. The following weekend, she told me she was going out again. Just the girls this time. I asked who was going. She listed a few names I didn't recognize. Then casually added, "Lena. Oh, and Jake might show up. He's friends with Tessa." That's when I quietly asked, "Me. Can you not go if he's going?" She blinked. "Lena. What?" "Me. You kissed him, Lena." Her expression changed instantly, like a mask had been ripped away. "Lena. You went through my phone." "Me. No. I saw the message." "Lena. It was nothing. A drunken mistake. He kissed me. I didn't kiss him back." "Me. You liked the comment calling you a couple." "Lena. Oh my God, that's what this is about? You're acting insane." Then she shouted the sentence that ended everything. "Lena, I don't need your permission for anything, Ethan." I nodded slowly. Calm. Empty. "Me. Good, because you don't have it anymore." And that was the last thing I said before I walked away. She thought it was just another argument. She didn't realize that while she was gone that night, I was going to start packing. Not angrily. Not frantically. Just methodically. Box by box. Drawer by drawer. When she came home, the apartment would be quiet. The closets would be empty. And a single envelope would be waiting on the kitchen counter. When she left that night, she slammed the door hard enough to rattle the frame. I stood there for a moment, watching it settle back into place. It felt strange. No heartbreak. No tears. No anger. Just silence. For the next few hours, I moved through the apartment like a ghost. The place we'd shared for 3 years suddenly felt borrowed. My things didn't belong there anymore, so I took them back. Every photo of us. Gone. Every shirt she'd bought me because it looked mature. Gone. Even the coffee mugs we'd received as a couple's gift. I left hers behind. By the time I finished, it was just after midnight. I looked around the empty living room, my duffel bag sitting by the door, and realized how calm I felt. Then I sat down, opened my laptop, and wrote the note. "Lena, you were right. You don't need my permission for anything. And I don't need to be in a relationship where my boundaries are a punchline." I saw the message from Jake. "I don't need explanations. I don't need apologies. Just know that the next time you look for me in this apartment, you won't find me. Take care of yourself, Ethan." I folded it neatly and placed it on the kitchen counter beneath her favorite coffee mug, and I set my key on top. When I closed that door for the last time, it didn't make a sound. Next morning, I turned off my phone. I'd already arranged a temporary sublet. A friend from work was moving abroad for 6 months, so I took over his place. It wasn't much. Small, quiet, sparsely furnished, but it was mine. We spent the first few days in silence. Just me, coffee, and an unfamiliar ceiling. Then the calls started. First from blocked numbers, then unknown numbers, then her name. I ignored every one of them. Eventually, she sent a text. Lena. Ethan. What the hell? Where are you? Lena. I came home and everything's gone. Lena. What is wrong with you? Lena. You can't just leave like that over one mistake. Lena. Call me. Please. We need to talk. I didn't respond. The next message was a photo of my note. Lena. So that's it? You just write a letter and disappear? Lena, that's not mature, Ethan. That's cowardly. I ignored that one too. Hours later, another text came through. This time, softer. Lena, I didn't mean to hurt you. Lena, I just got caught up. Lena, Jake kissed me first. I didn't push him away fast enough, okay? Lena, it's not like I wanted it. Lena, can we at least talk, please? Still nothing from me. Silence seemed to accomplish what words couldn't. By the third day, her tone had changed completely. Lena. Ethan, I'm scared. Lena, I don't know what to do. Lena, I can't sleep. Everyone at work knows something's wrong. I told them we're just taking space, but they keep asking if Jake and I are a thing. Lena, he's been ignoring me since Monday. Lena, he won't even look at me. That one made me pause. Jake, the same guy who had been all over her during the retreat, had apparently lost interest the thing. Moment things became complicated. I didn't reply. But I won't lie. I read that message twice. A week passed. Then she showed up at my new place. It was a Saturday morning. Someone buzzed the intercom. First, I thought it was a delivery. Then I heard her voice. Lena. Ethan. It's me. Didn't answer. Lena. I know you're there. I can hear your car downstairs. Press the button. Me. Lena. Don't do this. Lena. Just open the door, please. Just need to talk. Her voice cracked. It was the first real crack I'd heard from her since everything happened. I almost felt something. Almost. Me. We said everything we needed to say. Lena. No. You wrote everything. I didn't get to explain. Me. You already did, Lena. Me. You said you don't need my permission. Me. I'm just giving you the freedom you wanted. She went quiet for a few seconds. Then softly. Lena. You're really doing this, huh? Me. I already did. Then I released the button. She stayed outside for a few more minutes, knocking. Eventually, she left. That was the last time I saw her. At least for a while. I wish I could say I moved on immediately, but it wasn't that simple. The nights were quiet. The kind of quiet that forces you to replay every stupid little moment you ignored. Every red flag you dismissed as a quirk. Even so, I didn't regret my decision, because for the first time in a long time, I felt at peace. What I didn't know was that karma was already moving faster than I could have imagined. A month passed before I heard anything about her again. It started with a message from Tessa, one of her coworkers. Never been particularly close, but she'd always been kind to me at company events. Tessa. Hey, I just wanted to say you probably dodged a bullet. Don't ask me how I know. Just, wow. I didn't ask for details. Didn't need to. Within a week, I knew everything. Apparently, Jake had dumped her publicly at the office. One of her coworkers overheard him saying he wasn't interested in serious women and that Lena started acting like his girlfriend after one trip. Not long after that, he began dating someone else in their department. Someone newer, younger, and far less subtle. Lena tried to save face, of course. She told everyone it had all been a misunderstanding, and that she and Jake weren't that close. But people talk. Screenshots spread. Someone, I never found out who, leaked that retreat photo into their team group chat. The same one with the power couple comment. Before long, Lena's name became the punchline of whispered conversations she couldn't control. The image she'd built, confident, untouchable, self-assured, collapsed in real time. And I didn't have to do a thing. Meanwhile, I was doing well. Better than well, actually. Work was steady. My routine was solid. I'd started going to the gym again. Nothing extreme. Just consistency. The kind that rebuilds you from the inside out. I picked up old hobbies I'd abandoned while I was busy supporting her career. Guitar, photography, cooking. With each passing week, I felt less like the version of myself who sat quietly while she dismissed my concerns, and more like the man I'd been before I started walking on eggshells. Then came the text. After 6 weeks of silence, Lena. Hey, I know I'm probably the last person you want to hear from, but I just wanted to say, I get it now. I didn't respond. 10 minutes later, another message arrived. Lena, you were always so patient with me. Lena, I thought you were controlling, but you were just trying to protect me from people like him. Lena, can we talk? Just once. I won't make excuses. I just want to apologize in person. I stared at the messages for a while. It was predictable. Almost scripted. Still, I didn't reply. Next night, she called. Let it ring. A minute later, another message appeared. Lena, I know you saw what happened. Lena, everyone knows. Lena, I look like a fool, Ethan. Lena, I wish I'd listened to you. Lena, you were right about him. That he used me. Lena, he told me I was too needy. Can you believe that? Yes, I could, but I didn't say it. I said nothing. The silence must have stung because 2 hours later, she tried a different approach. Lena, I miss you. Lena, I miss how calm everything was with you. Lena, I miss feeling safe. I didn't respond. Then she sent a voice note. Her voice sounded small. Defeated. Lena recording. I messed up. I know I did. I thought I wanted freedom. But all I got was chaos. I keep thinking about that night when I yelled at you. God, I sounded so arrogant. You didn't even yell back. You just left. I didn't think you actually would. Lena, please. Can we meet for coffee? Just once. I just want to see you. I didn't delete it, but I didn't respond either. 2 weeks later, she tried again. This time through a mutual friend. Mark. Bro. Lena reached out to me. She wants to apologize. Says she's been miserable. Me. She should be telling that to her therapist, not her ex. Mark. Damn. You're really done, huh? Me. I was done the moment she told me she didn't need my permission. That should have been the end of it. But it wasn't, because people like Lena don't let go easily. Not when the silence becomes proof of their irrelevance. Next time I heard from her, it wasn't through a text. It was at a friend's engagement party. I hadn't expected to see her there. Of course she was. Still moved in many of the same social circles, even if hers had grown considerably smaller. I was talking with a few people near the bar, when I heard her voice behind me. Soft. Familiar. Too familiar. Lena. Ethan. I turned around. She looked different. Not bad. Just exhausted. The kind of tired that makeup can't hide. Lena. Wow. You look good. Me. Thanks. Lena. I mean it. You look healthy. Happier. Me. I am. She smiled faintly, but something flickered in her eyes. Regret. Maybe. Or disbelief. Lena. Can we talk? Just for a minute? I sighed. Me. 1 minute. Stepped off to the side. Lena. I just wanted to say I'm sorry. Lena. For everything. Lena. For yelling. Lena. For Jake. Lena. For treating you like you were boring, when you were the only stable thing in my life. I said nothing. Lena. You didn't deserve it. Lena. I was selfish. Lena. I thought I was proving something. That I was strong. Independent. Lena. But all I did was destroy the one thing that was real. Me. You done? She blinked. Lena. Yeah. Me. Then I'll make it simple. Me. I forgave you a long time ago. Me. Not for you. For me. Me. Because holding on to resentment keeps you stuck. Me. And I don't live there anymore. Her lips trembled slightly. Lena. So that's it? Me. That's it. Then I smiled. Not cruel. Not smug. Just genuine. Me. You were right, Lena. Me. You didn't need my permission for anything. Me. But freedom means you also have to live with what comes after. Me. I just chose to live better. Then I walked away. That was the last time we ever spoke. A few months later, I heard she'd quit her job. Word was, she moved back in with her sister. Meanwhile, I started dating again. Slowly. Carefully. With someone who doesn't treat loyalty like a weakness. And when people ask me about Lena, I simply tell them the truth. She taught me how powerful silence can be. Thought it was over. After that party, after the apology that wasn't really for me, but for her own guilt, I assumed she'd finally accepted reality. For a while, it seemed like she had. Then one night, she showed up at my door. It had been almost 6 months since I left her. 6 quiet, productive, peaceful months. I had my own place now. A better job, better habits, a better sense of peace. I'd also started seeing someone new. Her name was Clara. She was calm, funny, and kind in a way that didn't drain you. She didn't need to be the center of attention. She didn't crave validation from strangers. She simply was. And I liked that. That night, Clara and I had just finished dinner when I heard a knock at the door. Persistent. Uncomfortable. I opened it, and found Lena standing there. Her eyes were red. She looked nothing like the woman who used to stand in front of a mirror practicing power poses. Lena, please, Ethan, don't close the door. I need to talk. I didn't move. But I didn't slam the door either. Me, what could you possibly need to say that you haven't already? Lena, that I was wrong. I raised an eyebrow. Me, about? Lena, everything. Lena, Jake, my so-called freedom. All of it. She took a shaky breath. Lena, he wasn't what I thought. Lena, he said all the right things, but he didn't care. Lena, he used me. Ethan, Lena, he bragged about it to people at work. Lena said I was an easy rebound. She looked at me as though she expected sympathy. She wasn't going to get it. Me, that's unfortunate. Her lips parted slightly, surprised by how flat my response was. Lena, is that all you're going to say? Me, what do you expect? Me, you said you didn't need my permission. Me, you made that choice. She stepped closer. Lena, I didn't choose this. Lena, I didn't realize what I had until I lost it. Lena, you were good to me, Ethan. Lena, you were the only person who actually cared about me. I crossed my arms. Me, no, Lena, me, I cared about who you pretended to be. Me, and I think deep down, you did too. Her jaw tightened. Lena, you don't have to be cruel. Me, I'm not. Me, I'm just being honest. Then she noticed Clara's shoes near the couch. Her expression shifted instantly. A flash of realization, and wounded pride. Lena, you're seeing someone. Me, yes. Lena, already? Me, it's been 6 months. Lena, still. Lena, you move on fast. Me, no. Me, I just stopped waiting for someone who had already left. Whatever composure she had left finally broke. Lena, I made a mistake, Ethan. Lena, a huge one. Lena, but people make mistakes. Lena, I can fix this. Lena, we can fix this. Me, no, you can't. Me, and we don't exist anymore. Her voice trembled. Lena, you really don't feel anything anymore. Lena, after everything? Me, I feel relief. Me, that should tell you everything you need to know. I opened the door a little wider, not as an invitation, as a signal that this conversation was over. Lena, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry. Me, apology accepted. Me, now go live with it. She stood there for a moment, eyes glistening, searching my face for some trace of the man she used to control. But there was nothing left for her to find. Finally she whispered, Lena, I hope she treats you better than I did. Me, she already does, by not being you. Then I closed the door. On the other side, I heard her exhale, that hollow, choked sound people make when they finally understand there's no way back. Months passed. Lena faded from everyone's radar. No social media posts. No job updates. No mutual friends bringing her up. It was as if she'd slipped into the background of her own life. Meanwhile, mine kept moving forward. Clara and I were steady. I got promoted. Bought a new car. Joined a photography group that traveled on weekends. It wasn't a fairy tale. It was better. Peaceful. Real. Earned. Then one afternoon, while waiting for coffee, I saw Lena again. She was sitting alone at a corner table, scrolling through her phone with that distant, empty expression people wear when the world has moved on without them. She looked up. Our eyes met. Her lips parted slightly, like she wanted to say something. Simply gave a polite nod and turned back toward the counter. No tension. No resentment. Just indifference. When I left, I walked past her table without stopping. Lena, Ethan. I turned slightly. Me. Yeah. Lena. You look happy. Me. I am. Lena. Good. Lena. I'm glad. Me. Take care, Lena. That was it. The last conversation we ever had. Sometimes closure doesn't come through dramatic speeches or revenge. Sometimes just a quiet moment when you realize the person who once broke you could walk right past you. And you feel nothing. Because once you've truly grown beyond someone, their power over you fades quietly. No drama. No spectacle. Just peace. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe to the channel and hit the like button. What do you think about this story? Share your thoughts in the comments.